we got, Daniel?
30 seconds.
Okay.
Want me to look at the camera?
No,
or just whoever's
no,
talking?
just, yeah,
Okay.
just whoever's asking you questions, talk to whoever.
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Cool. Cool.
15 seconds.
Okay, we've got sophomore safety Gage Ferguson. Gage had a career-high 10 tackles in his first career start last weekend at Wyoming. Gage is going to recap the Wyoming game and how the defense played, and then we'll take some questions.
I think obviously whenever we get scored 52 points on, that there's not going to be a lot of good things to say. After watching some of the film and meeting together as a defense this morning, us as players really took ourselves out of position to make plays and kind of got away from the scheme of things that we wanted to do in the game. Obviously not starting out fast put us in a bad position, and then we kind of took it on upon ourselves to do things that we weren't coached to do, to try to make up for things and to make plays, and I think kind of just shot ourselves in the foot. Yeah, I'd say that's about it as far as just taking ourselves out of the position to make plays.
We talked to Coach Shaver, and it sounded like last week that was what he said. We as coaches aren't putting these guys in the right places to make plays. That was before the game.
Yeah.
So that was an emphasis, and it still was a challenge.
Yeah, it's been an emphasis, and I think it'll continue to be an emphasis. But it's something we got to get fixed, and it comes down to having faith in the guy next to you. He's going to do his assignment, and you're going to do yours, and I think that's what we're lacking right now a little bit.
Is Gage, is everybody just trying to do too much, or everybody wants this so badly that you're getting?
I think everyone's a little bit stressed right now, and maybe trying to step up and make plays, and in the heat of the moments they're trying to do more than their job, and ends up hurting us more, I think.
Gage, you take away Hill's 56-yard touchdown run. I want to say he had 23 carries for 86 yards. So honestly, you take away that run, you did a good job against him. It just seems the last three losses, the defense has just given up too many long runs. I mean, San Diego State had a couple of really long runs. I want to say 64 yards and 39-yard touchdown run, and like Colorado State had a really long run, like 56-yard run. How much you need to clean up those? If you take away those long runs, how much of a difference can that make?
It could have been the difference in a lot of ball games for us. Those explosive plays give a lot of energy to the other team's offense, and it takes away from us when you're doing so well as a defense down after down, and then you let some explosive play go. It really hurts as a defense, and definitely boosts our team's morale, which you don't want. And so I think if we can eliminate some of those explosive plays and be disciplined for one more down and execute those and get off the field, then it'd be a different ball game in some of those games.
How are you feeling personally, I guess, physically, and then as far as the comfort level now?
Physically, I feel good. Obviously, as the season goes on, you get a little more banged up here and there. I had a little bit of time when I set out to recover, but I feel fine physically. As far as comfortability out there on the field and things, with my first start and all in the Wyoming game, I feel like I started out kind of slow, but I definitely feel very comfortable out there now. And as the game went on, I kind of found myself out there playing how I play, and I'm looking forward to more time on the field and being more comfortable out there.
I always remember you from high school as a running back, almost more than a
Yeah.
defensive guy. Did you play a lot of defense too for Mount Crescent?
Yeah, I play both ways.
Okay.
So, but I was more of a linebacker, like a walk-up D end almost, just because here in the Valley I was a bigger kid.
Yeah.
So
do you, is this what you envisioned to get a chance? I mean, you didn't get recruited right out of high school, obviously, and had to go to junior college or whatever, but is this worked out like you expected or wanted to, or what?
Yeah, when I first started getting the little bit of recruiting that I got and first started trying to get my name out there and talking to some coaches and going to camps, they all told me that build-wise and stuff, I fit more of a safety. And so I just took what they said and started trying to see myself as a safety, which was really weird at first. It's a whole different game on the back end, and but yeah, I figured that's what I'll be. So it's no surprise now, I guess.
Does it make you, because of what you did before, are you better against the run than maybe the pass defense needs to get more help? Or what?
It does. I'm more aggressive, I think, towards the run naturally, because my whole life I've been a linebacker and in charge of the run. So it's good in that sense, but also sometimes I gotta do my job and turn down some of the aggressiveness towards the run, of course, as a safety, and do my job in the back end.
The MO of New Mexico, I know you've been studying yourselves first and trying to get things figured out, but you just know that New Mexico wants to run the ball first before.
Mhm.
I mean, they lead the nation in rushing or close to it
Yeah.
right now. So
Right.
your run defense will have to be there for
Mhm.
sure this week, and they're an really explosive offensive running team too.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, from just knowing who New Mexico is and watching a little bit of film on them this morning, they're just looking for those explosive plays, and we're looking to stop those explosive plays like we just talked about. They'll just inch their way down the field and hope that, someone gets out of their assignment and they create a seam that goes for 40 or 50 or however many yards. And so I think a key emphasis this week, again, like we've been talking about, is just doing our jobs, being consistent, and getting off the field, and trying to put them in long down situations.
Is it accurate to say you and Dallin play the same style of football, would you say?
I think there's definitely some similarities. We're both pretty aggressive kids, and so yeah, I would say it's definitely fair to say we play very similar.
You told me the other night you kind of learned from him watching.
Yeah,
Talked a lot about it.
he's been a big mentor for me since I've been here, and really helped me out at the safety position. But as far as the aggression that I play with and stuff, that's just how I've always played football. So.
Your word a minute ago was you think everybody's a little frustrated or a little desperate, or I don't know what the word is. This team has to win all your games to do what you want to do. What kind of frame of mind is everybody in, do you think, towards that?
I'd say there's definitely some different thoughts for depending on who you ask, but I think the frame of mind we need to be in is obviously our backs are against the wall, and we got nowhere to go and almost nothing to lose at this point. So I think that we just need to kind of regroup and forget so much about our record and the way things have been going, and just go out there and enjoy what we've got left as a brotherhood and as a team, and just play football and have fun. Because it seems like when we do that and we just play together, we play well. And not so much focus on winning, but just playing together and doing our jobs, and then the outcome hopefully will be better.
Because let's face it, till the 5-minute mark, the second half, you had nothing to really play for. You just went out there and played. Look what happened.
Right.
You stopped them defensively. You made plays offensively.
Yeah.
And got it going.
And I think that we just need to kind of have that looseness and confidence when we start a game, and not worry so much about the outcome and just go out there and play football.
Were you an Aggie fan growing up?
Um,
You had thoughts about playing somewhere else?
To be honest, I always dreamed of playing football as long as I could. No real college athletes in my family, and as far as being an Aggie fan, I wouldn't say I was a huge Aggie fan. But I did come to games and stuff, and I enjoyed watching the Aggies play football and stuff here. But never thought in a million years I'd be playing up here. Never was in my plans, and never thought that happened.
Okay, we have senior tight end Houston Wyatt tied his career high in with 5 receptions last weekend against Wyoming. Wyatt just so you guys know, also ranks second all-time in school history among tight ends in touchdown catches, receptions, and receiving yards. So we'll have Wyatt open up with a comment on how he thought the offense played last weekend against Wyoming, and we'll take some questions.
I think we started out pretty slow. Obviously, only 7 points in the first half, and felt like we needed to help the defense out and get them off the field in the first half. Then the second half, we came out, like Gage was just saying, we didn't have much to lose, so we came out and we made some big plays, and whether it was in the passing game or we ran the football well, and so I think the second half was more like Aggie football on the offensive side. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, offensively, how much can you build on that third quarter? Things were looking quite bleak. At least you guys came out there and fought and got back in the game. So, I mean, how much can you guys build on that going forward?
I think there's a lot. I think we can build on that a lot. I mean, there's a lot of positives in that second half. Build a little more confidence. We can move the football. We can score. All that. And for whatever reason, we didn't in the first half, and we haven't in some of these games. And I think that it was good for us, to just, let it loose and just, kind of play with the mentality that there's, hey, we were down 35-7 at half, nothing to lose. Let's go out there and play football, play for ourselves, take it one play at a time.
Wyatt, how did you end up here? What was this nutshell? Short story on your recruiting to Utah State.
I sometime in the spring of my junior year, I got a Facebook message from Coach Matt Wells. At the time, he was the OC and the quarterbacks coach, and he told me that he liked my size and that thought that I could have a chance of playing tight end and at Utah State, and he wanted me to come out to camp to see my just see me move and see how physical and all that kind of stuff was. And so I came out to camp and earned my one and only scholarship, and the rest is history.
If Utah State hadn't offered you a scholarship, what would you have ended up doing? Junior college?
Yeah, my brother played at junior college, so I probably would have done that. He kind of had an interesting path, and I was lucky. I was blessed to kind of watch him make his mistakes, kind of not really mistakes, but like just to see his path and what he would do differently. And so I would have gone probably to a JUCO or junior college right out of high school had I not earned a scholarship.
Not trying to dominate all the questions. I apologize. What path was interesting? What was interesting about that path?
Originally, he went to a D3 school in Duluth, Minnesota, and it just wasn't right for him, and he wanted something more, and so he went to junior college, and he found he was able to have a great college at his junior college, or a great career at his junior college, and then unfortunately he had too many knee injuries, and so he had to hang up the cleats. But just to learn that I wanted to play at the highest level I could, and not to give up on that, and go chase it.
Was your mind at that time already to tight end that Matt had mentioned it, or would you have tried to stay a quarterback in junior college or whatever?
I had been I didn't earn any scholarships or anything, but I had been lightly recruited as a quarterback for whether it was Ivy League schools or some Big Sky schools, and but a lot of schools, the same schools, have kind of told me like, hey, you might play tight end also, and so I'd kind of made up my mind, and I think it was good for me, and I feel like at the time I felt like I would have a better chance of playing at the highest level I could as a tight end. I mean, as a quarterback, it's tough. You can only play one quarterback at a time, and tight ends you can have two or three in the game, and so there's a lot of kind of just thinking, what's my best chance, and that's kind of what happened.
Wyatt, there were a couple of plays that really stood out to me in the Wyoming game that really hurt the fumble there at the end of the first half. And when Wyoming had that tip ball well, I want to say Damien got his arm hit. Tailback didn't pick up the block there. I don't want to criticize these guys because I thought both of those guys played well. But in a nutshell, how much does just maybe some of the offensive struggles you're having right now just come down to those little things like ball security and picking up a block, stuff of that nature?
Offense is very different from defense in a sense that on defense, if one player makes a great play, Gage makes a great play, nobody knows that the other 10 messed up on their assignment or the other 8 or whatever happens. But on offense, if you don't have, in order for a play to work, you need all 11 guys on the field to execute the game plan or whatever play we're running. And so, just having all these, little mistakes, whether it's, a tight end, a running back, a quarterback, a receiver, a lineman, or whatever, it kills momentum and it kills the offense, and it's hard to dig yourself out of holes. And it just the turnovers and just little plays getting us behind the sticks, or the long third downs or long first downs on penalties, all those kind of things kind of add up, and they definitely hurt.
You hear, that's the thing the coaches have talked about, this one play or one little thing has made a difference. But I'm sure you go to practice and try to do all of those things. Does that take your mind too much to detail rather than enjoying it and flowing and things like that you're thinking too much about what we got to do rather than let's just make it happen,
Obviously, we pay more, like, we're trying to, be really technically sound. And so, at some point, you do have to just let it loose, play football, and, trust that the technique's going to come and just play your game. But in practice, it's different, and it's hard to simulate these kinds of things. That's, a fumble or an interception off of a, quarterback getting hit and stuff like. It's tough to simulate that, and so, it's just a matter of, trusting, what we've been taught, and, trusting, the other 10 guys on the field and all that kind of stuff, that we're going to get our job done. And so, we just need to all come together as a group offensively and get it done.
You're chasing Chris Cooley records. Does that mean anything to you much?
Just to be even mentioned by Chris Cooley, that dude's a stud, and he was a stud, and he's had a great career. Obviously had a great one in college, and and then I remember watching him as a kid. Honestly, before I got here, I didn't really know he came to Utah State, and at one point I actually lived in the same house that he lived in when he was here. One of my neighbors told me that, and I thought that was kind of interesting. And but it's a great honor, and whether I even come close to breaking any of his records or not, just to be mentioned in the same sentence as Chris Cooley is a great honor.
Is it hard to play your senior game with the record you have this year and how things have gone compared to what the rest of your career? Or can you, in your mind, take the whole career and know the good times and the times you've been through some better things?
It's something that I've thought about quite a bit. Nobody ever wants their last season of football or college football and to go the way that it's happened, and or the way it's been going. And but at the same time, there's a reason why this is happening. We're being tested for some reason, and and it's a great life lesson. A lot of stuff that happens in football, you can translate into life, and certain things don't go your way at times. And I think it's a great to see how people respond, and how it's made me a better person. And so I think when I look back at my career, my college football career in 20, 30 years, I don't think I'll ever remember, my record, my senior season, or my record, my sophomore, freshman, junior seasons. I think I'll just remember the people, the time, and all the, hard work and all that kind of stuff. I don't think I'll be too worried about the fact that, my senior season hasn't gone the way that I had hoped at the moment.
I think that's a fair answer. But at the same time, how important is it for you guys, especially as a senior, to go out there and get a win in your final home game?
Oh, that's very important. I mean, I'm gonna do everything I can, and whether it's me myself or motivating others and being a leader, I'm gonna do everything I can to win these next 3 games and get ourselves in a bowl game. And like I said, it's just a matter of how we respond. And we've got 2 options: whether we can pout, we can complain, and talk about how this isn't fair, or we can do something about it, put our heads down, go to work, take it one game at a time, and get ourselves in a bowl game.
Remember there, just quickly, New Mexico's defense last year, they got a whole lot better last year. It looks like they're still kind of tough to move the ball, their defense. They were tough last year for us.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Mountain West has, everyone's playing really good football. I think this is a really good conference, and each week, you never know what's going to happen, and they're a great team, and they're physical. They fly around, and it's going to be a good challenge for us. And I think that we're going to have to definitely come out and start faster than we did against Wyoming, and we're going to have to play a full game and of football, just like letting it loose, just doing it and not worrying about if something goes wrong, or or if we get down. We just got to continue to play, because we know we can come back. Like we came back. We came back from 28. It was 28-35 at one point, and so we can build ourselves out of a hole, and it's just a matter of believing and just coming out fast, trusting the defense and all that.
Anything else for Wyatt?
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Game preview, New Mexico. And then we'll take questions.
Okay. The game Saturday night in Laramie, we dug ourselves a big hole. It was tough to come out of, but I did believe that we came out of halftime really with the renewed focus and energy that is my fault ultimately as a head coach, why it wasn't there to begin with, apparently. So, I thought our guys fought, but we dug ourselves too big a hole and couldn't make a few plays to tie it up, coming back down from that many touchdowns. But I thought it was a much better effort in the second half. There's some guys that stood out individually to me that I thought played well. I thought Austin Stevens has played well. He's probably played the best. He's played in the last month or so. What I'm saying is, the last month, he's 4 or 5 weeks in a row, he's played very, very well. I think he's done a nice job. I thought Lawan Hunt did a nice job, had a good game. Defensively, Dallin Levitt made some plays. I thought he did a good job. Both corners, Daniel started a little slow. They completed a few balls on him, but I thought Daniel Gray played very well, and Wesley did. They both forced the run on the edge as a corner, taking on big tight ends and fullbacks. I thought they both did a good job. The more tape you watch of the game and how it went on, those 2 guys really forced the run. I thought did a nice job at corner. And like I said, they both played, the vast majority of the game with Jalen being out, and I thought played really good, as the game went on. So those are some individual highlights for those guys. Looking ahead at New Mexico, this is a team that is, again, another team in the league, I think, that's playing with a lot of confidence. They're well coached. They know who they are. on offense and defense. Offensively, they're going to run the ball and triple and double option and a lot of different variations of it. The quarterback's playing good. Both of them have played, whether it's Lamar or Apodaca, very good. Running backs that can hit a home run. Defensively, they pressure a lot. They do a nice job of forcing you into stuff and then and bringing pressure and covering you up out on the perimeter. So they know who they are. They've done a nice job. As you look at them, and I haven't got into every game yet, just being early Monday so far, but they even as far back as Rutgers, that was a game that they were absolutely in, and they've done a nice job. And so we're facing a team with playing with confidence, and they're on a streak, and that's something that I think is a very, very beneficial for them in that locker room. And those kids are playing very, very confidently and playing very well. So with that, I'll go ahead and open it up with questions.
Matt, I really thought you guys generated a great pass rush against Wyoming, maybe the best pass rush you generated the entire season. It's just Josh Allen made guys miss. But, at the same time, how much can you build on? Is that something you struggled with this season, getting a good pass rush?
We have, yeah, Jason, we have. One thing that we did well was push the pocket and push the pressure at times. There were also times we lost rush lanes and rush integrity and allowed him out of the pocket. So I don't think we were very disciplined in a lot of those pass rush lanes. And then once out of the pocket, he made other guys miss. And he is a very, very good quarterback, very, very talented. And that's when you have a guy like that. Number one, you have to be disciplined in your lanes, and then number two, the guys that are, spying or lurking or whatever you want to call it, those guys got to be able to tackle in open space. And you know what? We missed a couple.
Yeah, the pass plays that he made against you that hurt you were more where he moved around
Right.
before he threw the ball.
Yeah, no question. Yep.
Those long pass plays.
Yep.
Matt, kind of a three-pronged question quick on,
Okay.
on Houston. What did you see in him that you were the only guy to offer him?
Okay.
How's he developed? I would assume he's developed as much or more than you'd hope.
Yeah.
And had any scouts talked to you about him?
Sure.
Is he a pro prospect?
Yeah, I think he is a prospect. Anytime you're that big and you can run well and you catch it, then you are going to be a prospect. And so I think there will be people that absolutely like him. He is developed into a very consistent player for us. His care factor is off the chart. First of all, his work ethic is off the chart. He'll do anything a coach says, or he'll do anything Dave Scholl says in nutrition or lifting weights or anything like that. He's zero maintenance off the field, high GPA, football junkie, high care factor. There's a lot of things like that are intangibles to me that are an 11 out of a scale of 10 for him, for Wyatt Houston. And then the first part, I think I'm going backwards in answering your questions, but the first part of that three question, what'd you call it? Prongs? Three prongs. The first prong to that question was, what did we see in him? We saw a big athletic kid that I felt like all the intangibles were, I believed all the intangibles, family, work ethic, his care, his passion, multi-sport athlete, big quarterback. And I remember recruiting him and just basically, recruiting him all spring and then getting him to camp out here and letting him know before he even got on a plane from Portland, you're going to come to camp and you're going to put your hand in the grass. You will play tight end and you will run routes and you will, block. And Coach, I don't know the drills. I don't know how to do it. Yes, I know that, but you're still going to do it. And he willingly did it, and he did very, very well. And he is, from the time, that's a kid that we tried to redshirt, and put in the developmental program and lift him and really put some weight on him and some strength on him. And then mid-October, when DJ Tialavea in 2013 broke his foot, we had to take the red shirt off, and he was very willing and able and played a key role down the stretch as a true freshman tight end there in the 13 season.
Yeah, but did somebody send you some video initially?
Oh yeah, we got all video of him playing quarterback, big left-handed quarterback.
And so was it immediately you thought, well, he can play, but probably not that position?
Well, I didn't think he was a quarterback, but I thought he had the size, first of all. I thought he had athletic ability to be that big athletic tight end that we were looking for. And, as a 220-pound kid in high school, 218, 220-pound kid in high school, and now he's grown into a 250-pound tight end. And, so we thought that.
Man, he'll have the 56-yard touchdown run, but I want to say the rest of the game he had 23 carries, 86 yards. That's very respectable against a guy like that. But that's kind of been maybe kind of an Achilles heel during your last 3 conference losses. You've just given up too many explosive runs. New Mexico has seven different guys with 20-plus yard rushes this season. So maybe even more so than normal, how essential is it for you to limit their explosion?
Huge. Good point we made in the meeting this morning. There's too many. We allowed way too many explosives on defense, whether it was pass explosives, which has to do with containing the quarterback, or it was a run explosive. And, look, that was the last week. And looking ahead at this week, New Mexico's a team that absolutely can capitalize on a missed tackle or a missed assignment in terms of their triple, and have the weapons out, coming out of the backfield, either the quarterbacks or the running backs to be able to hit an explosive on you. And they've done that for the last couple of years. You watch them, against a lot of teams that they'll break through and they can hit home runs. They can score and finish on you in a hurry.
They have more 50-yard runs than anybody in college football, I think, by far, or something. There's some stat.
I knew they had a lot, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the most. I think it's like either this year or the last 2 years or something.
Well,
More than just anybody. So.
well,
I guess the inevitable question this week is about your quarterback. What can you tell us about that position for this week?
Well, I think the biggest thing is finding out if Kent's healthy, and I'll know a little bit more after this afternoon. And I think he is, but guy goes out in the game and it's day to day, then that's about all I'll say for it for right now. So I'll know more after we're talking to the doctors this afternoon.
To be honest, there were a lot of guys who went out of the game at one
We did. We had a lot of guys banged up.
Yeah. Do you anticipate you've lost anybody toward
For the season? No, John Trail Rockmore is the only one we've lost for the season, to my knowledge today. Yeah, I don't anticipate anybody else being out. Dax Raymond's still out for the year.
How did you feel about Damien coming in?
He did some good stuff, and he did some stuff that, I know, that's not what we're coaching a quarterback to do. So he did both. But he did some nice stuff running the ball. We dropped a couple passes for him. He missed a couple throws. There was a little bit of everything, But I thought he did a nice job, Al, coming in. And Craig, sorry, I'm looking right at you. Said, Al, you guys go hand in hand, though. Oh, this press conference just took a turn. You see that look? Not going there. Okay. No, no, keep the camera right here. I think Damien came in and did some good stuff, running the ball, and throwing was okay, some stuff that, I'm sure he would tell you he wishes he had back, and I wish we'd have made a couple catches for him, and he missed a couple throws that could have been really, really good. But
Matt, that pass he made at the end of the game was a 60-yard pass. He threw it from the 20 down to the other 20. His arm's unbelievable.
To be honest with you, Al, I've got every quarterback in the program can throw it that far. Yeah, they can all throw it 60. But you don't usually ask them to do that in a game. Yeah, good point.
Matt, it's just how impressive is New Mexico's they really got beat up by Boise. I was watching some of that game from the lobby when we were in Fort Collins. Boise dominated them. So how impressive was their response? Has their response been from that loss?
Well, they've played really good the last several weeks, and so the response from that loss obviously was a positive in that locker room. And again, they're very, very well coached, and those kids have been in that scheme with the same two coordinators for quite some time, and that scheme's on both sides, the verbiage on both sides, the direction from both those coordinators, who I have a lot of respect for, and the head coach hasn't changed. And I think that what you're seeing is consistent play based on some of that, and I think that has something to do with it. And again, not only credit the staff, but credit those kids for responding in the right way, and they've gotten on a roll, and I think they're a very confident bunch right now.
I don't know how much you'll say about Devontae's physical well-being right now, but what about his emotional state? It's got to be frustrating for him coming back and then going out and coming back.
Yeah, it's, and not just him, but it's frustrating for a lot of these kids that put a lot of heart and soul into the off season and getting themselves ready to play, and then when you're hurt and banged up and you still try to rehab and come back and you're not able to be your old self, I think it's hard. It's an emotional deal. It's frustrating for each and every one of these kids. That's hard, but that's sport. That's sport. It doesn't matter what sport it is, but if you're a competitive guy playing one of these team sports, and it's a collision sport, you're going to get banged up and you're going to be hurt especially at this time of the year, and some guys just can't seem to shake it at times, and man, it's hard. And certain guys and certain injuries in certain positions is a little bit tougher than others.
I asked Wyatt a question. I'll ask you. I know we've talked every week about there's little things that are hurting the offense, and so I know you go to practice and you try to work on those little things. Is there so much mindset of players, the little things that they tend to get kind of narrowed down, and then a result in the second half of the Wyoming game, they just come out and let it loose. So we've got to go out. It was better football. Is there some of that, do you think, that's bothering this team a little bit now?
I don't know if it's bothering, because I haven't seen a first half performance like that. Really, I mean, that was poor in both phases. So I think what you're referring to, it comes down to this. Football comes down to blocking and tackling. And on defense, getting off blocks and tackling guys. And on offense, coming off the ball. And none of us can let little things either hamper our mindset or hamper our effort or our physicality. And if we are, then we're obviously not playing to full capacity. And, you do want to be free-minded. You want to be attention to the details and know all the little details about your assignment or what you need to do to accomplish that. But you can't sacrifice physicality or effort or anything like that to do that. And so there's a fine line in that combination. You can't just be non-attentive to all the details and all the little things in an assignment or a play or something like that and just say, yeah, I'm just going to come off and smoke this guy off the ball, and I'm not worried about my footwork or a call or a communication with the guy next to you. So, yeah, there's a little bit of both of that.
Matt, New Mexico has been really good. Their defense this season, a lot of tackles for loss, a lot of sacks. So regardless of who's playing quarterback for you this weekend, and how important is it for your quarterbacks to make just quick decisions, not hold on to the ball too long?
Well, a lot of those TFLs are in the run game. They're pressuring your rundowns. They're not just waiting until 3rd and 7 to 10 to come pressure you. They're pressuring your rundowns and they're overloading boxes. So it's probably just as much run game related as pass protection or decisions in the passing game for the quarterback. I mean, they're going to try to make the quarterback, the time in his head click a little bit and make it a little bit faster. And when you're pressuring with that many people, every offense coach knows that, you got to get rid of it quick. So it's not just those decisions, but it's decisions in the run game that we have to make and not get behind the chains.
I'm sure it's disappointing when a veteran offensive lineman messes up. Simon has had a couple of things. Albrecht stuff like that. Does that surprise you when those kind of things happen?
It
Or could they be called on every play?
no, they're anytime. I mean, whether it's a penalty or it's a mistake or something, whether it's by, to me, it's like whether it's by a senior or it's a freshman at this time of the year. To me, there's not any rookies anymore. I talked to a true freshman this morning, and I said, "You're not a rookie anymore. You're going into game, whatever." I can't even know how many games we played. 10? Game 10, yeah. And I said, "You're not a rookie anymore. You can't make those mistakes or those alignment errors." And so for every one of us, we're all accountable to ourselves and to this team. So, at this point in the year, we have to minimize some of those. And again, we haven't, it's been one of the lesser penalized teams that we've had since I've been here. Good? Thanks, guys. Okay, have a good day. Apologize for being late. Had a good excuse, though.